Don't get too many concussions trying to pick up women. I want that to be the soundbite for this episode.
All right. I'll put it up front. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Sorry, I was staring off into space as I often do. Mm-hmm. But never am I doing any more but thinking of all of you. Decided to open this episode with a poem.
It was a nice little rhyming couplet there for you. Hit us with a haiku, Mr. Sean Patton.
Today is a day. Yesterday was also one. And tomorrow will. As tomorrow will. There we go. There you go. That was a haiku.
Like it.
Yeah.
Well, what shows might you be doing this weekend or week that maybe don't involve such poetry, but do involve
I will be at the...
amazing jokes?
Yes. I will be at... you like that?
We're going to keep this in. It's going to be good.
Caitlin's got
I'm not
the
doing any more editing.
Caitlin's got the giggles.
All right.
The editing giggles. I will be at the Wise Guys in Salt Lake City on September 13th and 14th, Friday, Saturday. Woo-hoo. And then in Houston at the Secret Group. And it ain't no fucking secret. 2 shows, Sunday the 15th. In their studio room. Come do it. Come see a show.
Yeah, do it. On the 16th, I'm doing Butterboy at Littlefield. And on the 18th, myself, Shane Torres, Tom Dakar, and Phoebe Bottoms have started a show at the Sultan Room in Bushwick. And you should come because David Cross is headlining. Dulce Sloan will be there. Dan Soder, the Found Footage guys, and all of us. Some live music, drink specials, and it's already starting to sell out. So get your tickets now.
And speaking of getting your tickets now, get your tickets to see your next guest.
Yes.
Whenever she's in your town.
She's amazing. She is someone that I met, that I saw in Chicago before I even started performing and was like, oh my God, look at her. So go look at her and go listen to her because she's amazing. It's
Megan Gailey.
Megan Gailey.
The one, the only. Megan Gailey. Check her out.
Also, this episode with Megan was recorded at the All Things Comedy Studio, which means it has video. So if you're into watching podcasts, or maybe you listen at work and you have to listen on YouTube, we're building up our YouTube channel. So go subscribe, go watch our clips. We also have it all on Instagram, which we are building up as well. So it's all 5 Words Podcast. Go check it out.
And this episode is a whirlwind. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome.
to 5 Words with Caitlin Cook and Sean Fat Sean.
No.
Fat Timmy.
Why did you say your name was Sean Josh?
Sean Josh. I don't know. You know, but before we get to me, let's introduce our fantastic guest, Megan Gailey.
Yay.
Like I've said in previous episodes, I like to bring the guest in immediately.
So they don't have to sit here
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just be
yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
Conversation.
You're in.
Someone, I was doing a podcast with someone. Isn't it funny how that's like something children will like hear us say?
What?
Like I was doing a podcast, like, you know, it's like we were at our friend's house. It's like a normal
I've never thought
way.
about
It's
that.
a transition now. It's a societal transition.
Well, I forgot who we were talking about this with, but think about a kid who is a child now. When they're 20, they can look back at their entire documented in digital life. And it's like there's a part of me that think that not a part of me, a whole of me, I think that's fucked.
Terrifying.
Because then kids will look back and be like, why didn't you throw me a crazy birthday party, Mom?
Yeah.
Did you not love me as much as Mikhail?
Well,
you know?
I mean, I think it's...
Mikhail, that's yeah.
I feel like I know a child named Mikhail. Like, one isn't specifically coming
Mikhail.
to mind, but
Yeah.
like I've definitely like waved at someone who was like, "This is Mikhail."
Yeah.
Oh, look, Mom, Dad, Abba Shaul's parents made a way bigger deal about her 16, her sweet 16 than mine. She had a leopard.
Kids' little baby genitals on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about
And
that.
so,
I haven't
and
seen
like,
that
you know,
yet.
you see a lot of people now and they'll put like an emoji over the kid's face. You'll see like famous people do that, or they'll put an emoji over like the butt or the genital. And it's like, now that's almost weirder. Show it to me. What was the version of our parents' generation feeling about us? Probably phones, like that.
Oh, I mean,
the kids won't even like really, because I had Facebook starting my freshman year of college. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God I didn't have it in high school. But I talk to people older than me and they're like, oh my God, thank God I didn't have it in college. But it's like, that's what I had. I remember the day that the picture possibility got added to Facebook where.
Oh wait, there was a Facebook without pictures?
Yeah, where you were just connecting with other people at your college, basically.
I remember like, I'm probably like 2 years younger than you or something, because I remember it's like trying to get a college email address because I was in high school.
So you could
like,
be on it, yeah. But I like got I think I got an email notification.
Okay.
Someone has tagged you in a photo.
Oh
and like
my
this was
God.
pre me having a phone where I could do it.
Yeah.
So I just like ran back and it's like I was a drunk slut. You know, like I don't know what this photo is gonna be.
Yeah.
And then you see 12 photos of you like I was like on a toilet flipping people off. It's like, no. I did not consent to this.
Yeah. I mean, my first foray into social media, I think I was like 23, and it was MySpace. No, I'm sorry. I take that
Didn't
back.
you have Friendster?
It was Friendster.
Yeah.
See,
Friendster.
I had
what
MySpace.
was I didn't
have Friendster.
MySpace was definitely. I think I missed it because I was like not cool. It seemed
MySpace?
like a music, like if you were really into music.
MySpace
that's
was
why
the first
I-
one.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember Friendster was basically just what Facebook is, except less. And instead of comments on your page, it was testimonials.
Oh,
So your friends would get on and be like,
Yelp.
yeah,
Helping a
but they
person.
had, but you had control over it, so you could like
Okay,
delete
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But like your friends would get on and be like, Sean's a real piece of shit, but I love him, and you're like, I'm gonna leave that one. And then someone you'd never met was like, I met Sean once, and he was super nice to me. It was all testimony. That
But
was
it
the
was
idea.
mostly positive.
It was supposed to be positive.
Oh, that's
and
lovely.
then
Yeah.
then MySpace came and just knockout punched Friendster. And then turned into like MySpace music, MySpace comedy, MySpace
Yeah.
fucking judgmentalness, MySpace cuntiness,
And then
MySpace.
your top 8, that was
Yeah.
a huge deal.
Your
I
top eight.
remember-
Yeah, you arrange the friends in the
Yeah.
order at which you love them.
Yeah.
which is dark.
And
Yeah.
You know, because you're
super
already
weird.
doing that pre-MySpace. You're already mentally doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Especially in
this
high
is
school.
my
Yeah.
Yeah.
best friend. I mean, I'm getting married right now, so it's like I had to rank my friends publicly.
You're getting married?
I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did that happen? Whoa, look at that.
Yeah. We got engaged in November, and then we're getting married in December.
Was it a romantic proposal?
No,
No, it was just like,
it photographed very well.
yeah.
And so the memories are lovely.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I knew it was happening, but we sort of like pretended like I didn't know.
Oh.
Because I just knew because like I'd put so many restrictions on the day and the time and everything that I basically had allowed him one day in the entire calendar year.
Wow.
So when that day came, I was like, whew, if
What
it's-
were the restrictions?
we were going, I did not want to get engaged on like a trip that my dad had paid for.
Okay.
So
Okay.
which
That's a very specific.
No, that's a very specific,
Dad
like, me.
cannot pay for the vacation that we are.
well, like we go on family trips and people would be like, oh, that would be like a great time to get engaged. And I was like, no, like if my dad paid for the trip, I don't think you should like,
yeah.
steal
Yeah.
that from him.
Steal the thunder of.
And then we were going on a trip, just the two of us, that, we were both paying for. And then people were like, oh, I bet you'll get engaged in Hawaii. And I was like, well, I don't want to get engaged in Hawaii because I don't want to be like around staff that has to like pretend to be excited for us.
Right,
Like,
right.
I don't want there to be like a cleaning lady, like, yeah, like it just made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I wanted to be around my family. And the only time we were going to be there was Thanksgiving and
In Chicago, yeah.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
I know it's really confusing.
Yeah, sit right, real close.
I was
Real
born
close.
and raised in Indianapolis and then came up comedically.
It makes sense.
Chicago.
It's like I feel like if you're in the Midwest at all, it's like Chicago is the beacon,
Yeah.
the lighthouse. So you were
It really
in
is.
Indy
In Indy.
under the Kurt Vonnegut painting.
You know what? It was under a painting,
Was
and
it-
it was the same person who did the Kurt Vonnegut
Really?
painting.
Oh, wow.
But it was the Reggie Miller mural.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
So it did photograph very well.
Reggie Miller is the Kurt Vonnegut of basketball.
Exactly.
In case you didn't know.
Especially to Indianapolis. And they're both like on walls downtown. And the Reggie one was brand new.
Okay.
So he took me down there, did it in front of there. And then Reggie like responded to it. Like the Indianapolis Star, my hometown newspaper, wrote an article about it.
He was okay. For a second, I was like the painting.
No. So Reggie saw.
Way to go, guys.
Reggie saw the article
weird.
and was like, "I bless this."
Wow. Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
He was like, I never got a ring. I'm glad you guys. But I'm glad you two are. Oh.
Well, and it's also interesting too because like I love Reggie so much, but his first wife burned down his house. So it is interesting to like commit to marriage in front of like a mural of a man who may or may not have had sex with a prostitute and then given his wife herpes, so she burned down their house. It's an interesting start to a marriage.
Of all the really awful shit you hear domestically about athletes, that one's not too bad.
Oh, I don't think that at all. And and we used to drive by the burned down house because it kind of like stayed half burned.
Yeah.
Like they put the fire out, but then the ashes and walls sort of remained, and we used to take driver's ed drives up to it.
It's always funny when you say driver's ed in Indianapolis. I'm like, so was it on a speedway?
No.
Was it Indianapolis 500?
We would drive to David Letterman's childhood home, or we would drive to Reggie's burned house.
He's from Indianapolis as well?
Yes.
See, Indianapolis is such an interesting city to me because I've been quite a bit.
I bet.
And I'm going back in this. Oh shit! Like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Going to the Helium there, but like, it's one of those cities that you don't hear. It's like you don't hear much about, and it's just like a Midwest. But when you're there and you're walking around certain neighborhoods, like the Holy Cross, I believe it's called. Is that what it's called? It's like that very old. Maybe it's not called the Holy Cross.
There's like Meridian Kessler. That's like rich and old houses.
How about this? What is the downtown part around the Kurt Vonnegut painting called?
Mass Ave.
Like that shit's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
There.
And
very
like
cool.
that little walking path that they, I mean, like
the Monon.
Yeah, and like that one moving
lady.
Yeah,
the dancing lady.
Like there's some. It's a sculpture, and it's like there's some beautiful refurbished. Is that even refurbished? That's not a word.
Refurbished.
Yeah, sometimes I replace V's where F's should go.
But that seems very like English.
Yeah, but it's got like
refurbished.
It's one of those cities that you're like, this is probably a super cool city, and just no one wants anyone to know because they're like, don't come gentrify us.
See, I think people do want to know because they're always like, when I go back, my high school friends are like, yeah, we know it sucks, but like, isn't it awesome? And you're like, what? Pick a lane.
Yeah.
So they're like they're sort of like self-deprecating themselves for still being there,
right?
But then also justifying why they're still there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I get why they're there. Like, it's clean, it's like relatively safe, it's cheap.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, and Indianapolis very much is sort of like a blue dot in a sea of, in a sea of red. And so, you can sort of be either ideological way and feel comfortable. Right. So those are the positives. You don't have to be like, I know. Right. Look at this brewery.
You know what's funny is, so this was like 2 years ago maybe. Caitlin and I are on the road where we get an Airbnb. We're doing a show. I cannot.
This was in India.
I want to say the name of the venue was the White Owl or the White Crow or
White Rabbit.
Right.
Yeah,
thank you.
rabbit.
Yeah.
I was completely. I'm going with birds.
No,
it was
but
actually,
you had a white and you had an animal.
Yeah.
Well, I should have had the animal instead of white.
I was going to say hair, so I was close.
The white hair. Well, you were close.
But that venue was super cool. But we got into town late. And we got into our Airbnb, and it was one of the. You ever stay at an Airbnb where the person's just too nice?
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is great that you have water and snacks that I can eat. This is amazing. You're cooking dinner and you want me to eat it. I understand, but I'm in a rush and I have to go.
I don't want to be around you.
I don't. We don't. We're in a rush, but we don't need you to drive us.
No,
please don't go fire up the car. It was that sort of situation.
This is very Indianapolis too.
And Caitlin was like, "Go take a shower. I'll hold her off."
Yeah. And I'll handle this nice person.
And as I get out of the shower, I'm drying off. I hear the woman from downstairs go, "No! When?" And And Caitlin.
It was the day Tom Petty died, and I broke the news to her.
Wow.
Because there was also a shooting somewhere that morning. So
Somewhere,
she had the
you mean
news
Las
on.
Vegas? The Las Vegas
Was that
shooting?
Las Vegas?
Vegas?
Yeah, it was Las
Yeah.
Vegas. You're right.
Oh, no.
So that she had the news on. And I was like, God, it's just a day full of bad news. And she was like, wait, did something else happen?
Oh, and
Yeah.
if you're like a middle-aged woman in Indianapolis,
Exactly.
you love Tom Petty.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was
so
real sad.
that was really tough.
I thought you were gonna say that like Caitlin had made up like a lie to be like someone we know died, and that's why we can't take a ride from you.
Which I would.
She really wanted to give us a ride to the venue.
And if that were the case, I'd have been like, I respect your
Yeah.
'Cause the
lying
thing
ability.
is that some of these people, they do Airbnb so they can like have friends.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're doing a show? Oh, I'll drive you to the show, and then maybe he'll invite me inside, and then maybe I'll get to sit in the front row, and then maybe if he needs to call on somebody, I'll get to come on. Like they've planned this entire love
That's
affair.
very true.
We did have that in somewhere in the Hudson Valley. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was in
Very friendly
Where's Vassar? It's where Vassar is.
Hudson Valley's pretty
Poughkeepsie.
too. Oh, Poughkeepsie. Yeah. They're going to want to help
right.
you.
Yeah.
Super friendly, super nice woman. But you could tell when you got into her house, she had set it up as like it was a full-time Airbnb situation. Like she had signs everywhere telling you where the coffee was, where the snacks would be. Here's the stuff you can cook. Here's the stuff to leave alone. And she was just like, she came to the show we were doing, and then afterwards was like texting us like, where are you guys going? Want to hang out, drinking? And it was like very nice, very friendly, but it was also like,
You know in Mean Girls when Amy Poehler's character is like, I'm a cool mom. There's
Yeah.
like that thing now,
Yes.
like I'm a cool host.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are we
Let's smoke
doing
weed.
later?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
Well, now I want to stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm back to hotels. I'm like, I can't. I need to know. And like, unfortunately, with an Airbnb, you just don't know. And like, sometimes it's better,
Right.
but it's like I don't know if I want purple sheets.
Yeah,
well, like
it's a gamble. It's
yeah,
a gamble
it's
for
a
sure.
thought. And the argument I've gotten into a lot is that like, but these people are opening up their homes, or same thing with Uber, Lyft.
Yes.
It's like they're opening up their personal automobiles to you. The least you could do is be nice. But my argument is like, they're not opening up shit. I'm
This is
paying them.
business.
Yeah.
I'm giving
Yeah.
them money. That's the agreed upon thing. Like, sometimes I don't want to fucking talk.
Yeah.
When I just flew in from somewhere.
Oh,
like sometimes I
God.
just want to
Yeah.
get in the
No.
car and be at the place, and that's it, and you make the money. Sometimes I want to show up and lock myself in your bedroom door, or in your inside the bedroom door. I don't know what I'm saying. Lock the bedroom door and just leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't
I
need
don't-
to. Don't knock on the door. I'll figure out where the towels are.
I mean, the club managers that pick you up that are then like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that's.
and you're like, what the?
I feel like that's less. I mean, probably because I'm a guy, but like I experienced that far less.
They don't want to talk to you?
I feel like clubs now have gotten the hint. Like I feel like the new
don't
round
think
of
that's true.
managers are like, hey, don't be up their butts at all. Like, let them ask you questions.
Yeah, they want to talk to me.
Yeah. I think
They're
that, but I think it's
really-
because I'm a dude. I think.
And they're asking me questions based on like a quick Google search of me. You
Oh,
know,
weird.
they're just doing like Indianapolis, your brothers, and it's like, what the fuck? What are you asking me?
Wait, they know about that you're from Indianapolis?
Yeah, because they're like, I don't know this person, and so I don't want to show up with no knowledge. So I'll show up with the most trivial knowledge that they clearly don't want to talk about when they've just been on a connecting flight from LA
Oh,
to
I see. Yeah,
Detroit
yeah.
to come to Oklahoma City.
Well, yeah, it's like I guess I don't know why. I would love to know why. I think it has something to do with your subconscious burning up all the energy trying to like scope out where you are. But traveling deteriorates your soul.
Your soul.
Yeah.
You are even just one flight, even 1 3-hour flight can be draining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there are people who just don't travel enough to understand that. So when you get off a flight, they're like, "Oh my God, you're probably so excited
Yeah. To
that
be
you're
here.
here." Like
Oh my
I
God.
am,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to be at 100% for at least a night of sleep.
And there's people that travel just for leisure. Like when they're getting on a plane, they're like flying to Disney or they're
yeah.
flying to go to vacation. And it's like when you fly for work,
Yeah.
even when you're flying to go on vacation, you're like, this fucking sucks because it like reminds you
Yep.
of flying for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's, but at the same time, like also Airbnb, like I think Lyft and Uber are amazing. I think they are amazing in the sense that it's a service that's fucking. If you need money, you can do on the side and make money or full time, whatever. As far as getting around goes, it's changed the game for me. Like
Especially for LA.
LA is a better city, but even like New Orleans, where I'm from, it's a better because people aren't getting shit faced and driving as much anymore. And like, there's the argument that like, well, what about the cabs? It's like, well, they shouldn't have been garbage for so long.
I miss the cab, but I like I was at a concert and everybody was trying to find their Uber or Lyft.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and I was like,
annoying.
there's got to be a way where you're just like, hey, I'm Megan. Here's my code. What's your code? I'll put it in. And someone was like, yeah, that was cabs. I'm like, damn it. I think we need cabs. Like for big
New York,
events.
it works. Yeah.
Yes, for big, huge events.
Sure.
And the airport, it's like you spend so much time trying to like track down these people when it's like we had a system. I do think there's like got to be a way to like marry the two systems.
The airports have definitely gotten better.
LAX is the worst airport in the world. It just got voted that. And that has to be true.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's awful.
And Burbank got voted the best in the country.
Well, that's like saying like the mall is the worst place to shop, and this one garage sale where they just go get stuff, where they go personally pick up stuff for you. Yeah.
I love Burbank.
I mean, but it's also like it's such a ridiculous.
No, it's like a tree house.
Yeah,
it's like
this
you can't live here.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't Swiss Family Robinson. Like not everything can be Guy Fieri themed.
Yeah. Oh, you love this airport? Try and get a direct flight to anywhere that isn't driving distance.
Yes.
Or that isn't drivable in a day. I mean, I guess now they do.
Great.
Now they do JetBlue. You can do Burbank to
New York,
which is insane.
And you can go to Chicago.
Can you?
Southwest.
No shit.
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to go.
All right,
Southwest.
Burbank. All right, I get it.
I need a seat.
Burbank's bucking up.
Burbank is. I think that Guy
tough.
Fieri money raised their profile.
What Guy Fieri money?
He is. Every restaurant is Guy Fieri.
In the
airport.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That Guy Fieri stepping it up.
Yeah.
Burbank Airport, son.
He's like, listen, if I'm going to put my Triple D name on this, you got to fly to Chicago.
If they, you know what? I really hope they rename it Guy Fieri's Burbank Airport.
Oh my God.
Because you know what that would do? That would shake all the pretentious assholes off of it. Like all the people who fly there because they're rich, and it's but if it's Guy, and they're like, oh, Guy Fieri's too lame for me to be associated flying in and out of. And it's like,
I'll go to Van Nuys.
Cool, we'll all be here. Yeah, we'll fly in and out of there. It is also the coolest airport to fly out of because when you take off, you're flying directly at a mountain.
Yeah.
And they're like, I hope they pull up soon. Okay, they did, but it's
Oh, I haven't done that recently.
And I like walking on the tarmac.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm like, woo, I feel like I'm not supposed. You do feel like
you're on an island.
Yeah, and you're like entering a private jet, even though it's like you're getting into United Basic Economy. You're I feel like a Kennedy for the moment I'm outside.
Yeah.
My seat is 23E, but I am on top of the world. I'm going to Boston, but I'm doing a connecting in Chicago, then Milwaukee, then Atlanta. But hey,
even that sentence just made me exhausted and stressed out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even just talking about it.
Yeah. So let's change the
I'm
subject.
sorry.
No. We've already taken a journey from. I believe we started how podcasts begin. Instagram babies.
All right. Where else do we take that journey? Airbnbs, Tom Petty.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis.
So we went all over the place. Megan, what might we ask are your 5 words?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, does a name count if I'm giving a first and last name? Does that count?
Yeah, you can do like a short
phrase.
You
can do names and proper nouns.
Otis Redding.
Yes.
College.
Oh.
Juliet.
Oh.
What else do I want? Claustrophobic.
Ooh.
There we go. Someone finally hitting us with an actual.
And I'm trying to think because I feel like because I know the story, so it seems so easy.
But we don't.
So I'm trying to like give you one that's and then float.
Float.
Cool.
So your 5 words are Otis Redding, college, Juliet, claustrophobic, and float. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Nelly.
Buddy.
I mean, this one's. I mean, you want to lead off on this?
I feel like I did the last 2.
Yeah?
I can start if you want.
Please go. Please go.
Like?
Well.
I mean, I'll start.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows from Indianapolis, Otis Redding, of course, very famous musician. However, there was a car dealership in Indianapolis of a guy named Otis Redding.
Was that? I didn't even know that.
No, and
and wow, you're such a good storyteller.
Right.
You made me
really
believe
is.
it.
So everyone was always that was his big thing. He's like, Otis Redding, right? I'll play jazz. We'll make a deal jazz style.
Drive your car to the dock
What
in
a
a bit.
naive guest I am. Really?
Come by Otis Redding Automotive Dealership and we'll improvise a deal. That was his whole thing, even though Otis Redding wasn't necessarily a jazz. Anyway, but so that was where you worked right before you went to college.
Yeah. And you went to college. I'm going to say you stayed in Indianapolis. No, you stayed in Indiana. You went to one of the state schools in Indiana.
Yeah.
I feel like I actually knew that for a fact, but I can't remember which one. Wait, Champaign.
No,
No.
that's Illinois.
Shit. That is
know, it's
Illinois.
confused.
Well,
But,
don't
like,
guess,
Illinois.
just tell her the story.
I know, but
I
being
know.
from LA,
Yeah.
I'm like surprised that you know Champaign, Illinois.
There you
Yes.
go.
Well,
I'm impressed.
I conflated them. And that's a different story. So you went to college in the great state of Indiana, and that's where the first day you met your best friend.
Juliet.
Yeah.
And which Juliet, as we know, as your comedic comrades, is the source of most of your material.
Yes.
Like anytime you're talking about something you hate it when bitches do,
Yeah.
you're talking about Juliet because you went through so much with her.
Yeah.
So much with her. And one of those things was how you used to be, or she used to be before she met you, such a free, open, loving human being. But then one night, after a few shots,
Oh boy, this night.
and a few shots and a few too many hours spent at the actual Indianapolis 500, she became claustrophobic, right?
She needed to get out of there. So you guys were like, all right, we are going to go to this car dealership, Otis Redding's, and we're just going to get a car. We're going to go on a drive. We just need to get out. Getting too claustrophobic in this college town in Indiana for sure. So you decide you're going to take a trip, and one of the first things you do is you get some root beer floats.
Yeah.
That was good.
And now every time you have a root beer float, you think of Otis Redding and Juliet,
Right.
your college days, and how her claustrophobia made you leave your state and be like, there's more world to explore out here. And those root beer floats, man, they got you out.
Yeah. Again, once again, we did it where I feel like this was, and I'm sorry to put that in. I don't know if you were working on that story for your actual
For the stage.
but like
Yeah.
we just kind of put it out there. But
Yeah.
that is how Megan Gailey got out of Indiana.
Wow.
Did we nail it?
You guys are the one thing that I was like, they'll definitely get this. You still got wrong.
Oh,
I was like, this one is so easy.
so funny.
Okay.
What is the real story?
So when I was in college,
Okay.
so
yeah.
there you go.
Nailed
Yeah.
that.
You did nail that.
Which college was it?
I went to Purdue.
Oh, okay.
Boilermaker.
Boilermaker.
Drew Brees. Who that? Anyway,
Yeah, who dat? There we go. Oh God, I hate the Saints though.
Okay.
Just because you guys beat the Colts
I
in the Super
remember.
Bowl, and
Yeah.
it was tough. But everybody was rooting for you guys because of Katrina, and it's like, okay, but like we've had a tornado.
Well, yeah. Can I just throw this at you before we continue, real quick? The Super Bowl this year, 2020, is back in Miami, and I predict a rematch.
Colts Bears? Colts Saints.
Colts Saints. Yeah. Back in Miami.
Wow. Okay, I would love that.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I would like to win this time. So when I was in college, I was a theater major.
I was gonna say Romeo and
Yes.
Juliet. It's because of how I spelled it.
I know. When you spelled it like that, I was like, she thinks Juliette Lewis is coming. That Scientologist bitch
Yeah.
is not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was cast as Juliet in Romeo and Juliet
Oh shit.
to a version of Romeo and Juliet that was set to the music of Otis Redding.
Oh my God.
That actually sounds. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah. That sounds like it could be awesome or really terrible.
It was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
People were very, very
Yeah.
interested.
That could either be kimchi tacos or rap rock.
No, it was it was actually like pretty well done.
Yeah.
Like the song selection and the moments, because it wasn't like the whole time, but like it was integrated in a way that was like tasteful and actually really cool. And like you guys, there were people that were like, we are interested to see this.
Right.
So
right.
every show sold out.
That's awesome.
For a show that's like, we know what happens.
Right.
Unfortunately, we never had a chance to fully dress rehearse with all of the set pieces.
Right.
So opening night comes around, and I had not been able to rehearse in the tomb. So
In the tomb?
in the tomb where they die.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
what you mean. Okay.
You know, so she stabbed, she takes the medicine. They
medicine.
put her in a tomb.
Right.
Then Romeo kills himself. He winds up in the tomb. She wakes up, sees he's dead, stabs
her- right,
herself.
right.
So she's in this tomb for like a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So they put me in the tomb, and I immediately start to freak the fuck out.
Oh no.
And at this point, I'm supposed to be a dead person.
Right.
But only fake dead. So I'm laying in the tomb, and the nurse.
Wait, they didn't want you to actually kill yourself? The way you
I mean,
were
maybe
the way
they
you were like
did.
fake dead.
Maybe they were like,
wait a
this-
second.
It's when she's asleep with
This
the
is when
medicine.
I'm asleep with
before
the
she
medicine.
stabs herself.
Right.
So my nurse comes out, my like nanny, and the woman who was playing her, I look at her and I go, "Get me the fuck out of here!" And she's like, "No, Julia." She starts speaking to me in iambic pentameter, and I'm like, "No, get me the fuck out of this tomb right now." So I stood up. I had a sheet draped over me, and I just walked off stage
Oh my God.
During the production?
during the production.
Wow. A new twist. I mean, if they're going to bring in Otis Redding, this is a new twist anyway.
So everyone is sort of like, well, I guess they're doing a different take on this. So I go off stage.
Yeah.
And then they bring me back out, put me back in the tomb.
No.
Once now Romeo is dead.
Right.
I freak out again. I have to get out of there immediately.
Wow.
So I do stab myself. I do go through with that. 'Cause I'm like,
fake stab
I
yourself.
fake stab myself
Okay,
because
okay.
I'm like, I don't want to be that rude.
Right.
Right.
And then I stand up and walk off stage,
Wow.
leaving my dead Romeo to sit there alone.
I love the idea of like, I stab myself, but I still live.
I still
I can't. Women
Well-
can't. The spirit can't be killed. I got dreams to remember.
Wait, where's the floating coming?
Unfortunately,
Oh, sorry.
since this was like a modern interpretation with the Otis Redding, people did not understand if I was supposed to be floating off or not. So it worked out for me in the sense that it was like, was that supposed to happen?
Right.
Was that like a planned thing? Overall, people hated it. And I was so mortified, so embarrassed. I wouldn't even go. It was like after bombing, like I wouldn't even leave the green room to go talk to people because it was like I fucked up Romeo and Juliet twice. And then my mom came back in the green room and she was like, "Oh my God, I loved it. That was so amazing. Oh my God, when you floated as a ghost."
Oh my God.
I had never seen a ghost float in Shakespeare. And I just think your interpretation of it was exactly what it needed.
Wow.
What Billy himself. That's what I call William Shakespeare.
Which was like
'cause I read his work so much.
true delusion on her part.
Yeah.
Like she
But-
just as a mother was
Yeah,
like, I have to say
loves you.
something.
Yeah.
And because I had this like flowy sheet on me, she was like, she was a ghost. And what she was saying is that her spirit ascended and that Romeo stayed and that even in the afterlife, they were separate. Like she was trying to like
Oh my
extend
God.
the tragedy
Beautiful.
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
more. Totally made up.
Yeah.
Then, like 3 months later, once it was springtime, they were like, we want to do the show outside in a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I freaked out again and walked off stage every single time. Every production did not stay in the tomb over 6 shows.
But clearly, you put the twist on it now.
guess so.
That it was a ghost floating away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. They've already altered the whole thing by bringing in
Otis Redding.
music legend Otis Redding. I mean, how what does that even? Was it just like his music just played throughout? Did you speak?
Or was it more like a musical?
No, like when we were still speaking
in
in iambic pentameter, like we were still
so
doing.
not Motown. You weren't Motown.
No,
talking.
no. But
Right.
then, like when I would like the first moment that like my eyes met Romeo's eyes, it was like these arms of
my.
Yes, that's like that hit as we saw each other at the party. And
When did Sitting on the Dock of the Bay come in?
you know what?
Was that the one they left out?
What? It didn't.
They left out his biggest.
And it could have. Who's like his cousin? Who's like bad? You know, when like when he's up to something naughty.
Mercutio?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Mercutio.
So,
Yeah.
They could have played it then. I've been loving you too long was in there.
Oh.
It was really only like the love hits.
Now wait,
Right.
I got a question, and I feel like I'm asking this question for a lot of people. As someone who studied and acted in some Shakespeare, and as someone else who Caitlin knows very knowledgeable on Shakespeare,
Yeah.
right? What is iambic pentameter?
I believe it's so it's something it's
And
the,
It's the rhythm.
it's the rhythm, but then there's also like a 5 too. Like
Yeah.
it's like the rhythm, but then the line ends like it's like like that.
Like all
Is it-
sonnets are in iambic pentameter,
But
and
is
that's
it-
because there's a certain number of syllables per
Yes, that's
line,
what it is.
and the rhythm matches
Is
something.
it only applicable to Shakespeare?
I don't think so. I think there's other poems.
Yeah, but I think he either created it or was by far the most famous person that used
Yeah,
it.
I'm only asking this because iambic pentameter, say it again. Iambic pentameter is one of those things that if you're not in a theater studies course and someone says it and you're like, I'm not familiar with that, they will look at you like you just said, I don't understand what water is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those like, if you want to know how pretentious someone is, ask them what iambic pentameter is and see how they react.
Yeah.
And if they react like you just like barfed on their fucking shoes, it's why I hate pretentious people
Well,
so
and
much.
even
Oh,
we
I
were
hate it.
like, it is.
Yeah, and then
sweet.
well, also it's,
Yeah.
it's one of those phrases that I feel like a lot of people use but have no clue what it actually means.
Yeah. I've started
You know?
using
Like literally. Like when people say literal or irony. Most people have no fucking clue what the definition of the word
that's
irony
true.
is, and they use it so like me asking you what iambic pentameter means and you guys going, it could be kind of giving like a loose definition. Someone could go, well, that's ironic. It's like, no, it isn't. There's nothing ironic about that at all.
Nope.
I've been using mutually exclusive. Like I keep saying,
Right.
I actually say it in a joke right now, and I'm like, I don't think I'm using it right. But like, I'm like, I like how it feels.
Yeah.
And I like
Mutually exclusive.
mutually exclusive. So I'm saying it
But wait.
incorrectly all over town.
Like, are you saying it like as if someone does something awesome, you're like, man, that was mutually exclusive.
No, I'm just like, this happened, and they're not mutually exclusive. But I don't know if that's right.
I think
hold on.
you're saying there that they didn't affect the other. Like they
yeah,
happened
that's what I'm
separately.
trying to say.
Yeah.
They're mutually exclusive.
Like you getting up with the sheet on because you were claustrophobic and your mother misinterpreting that as your great interpretation of the play are
mutually exclusive.
exclusive.
Yes, because my mom did that
No.
because
We're getting to a point where words sound like weird sounds in my
Yeah.
head.
yeah.
What is mutually?
But my mom's love for me and her saying that was a genius interpretation
right.
are not mutually exclusive.
But wait,
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, I think so.
mutual means two entities agreeing upon one thing, right?
I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I would have been like two pals.
Yeah. Mutually is
Right.
Yeah.
Exclusive means
We're not
separate.
Yeah,
what's that?
Separate.
Means separate.
Yeah.
and also like really cool. You know, like this club is exclusive.
So so wait, I'm trying like now. Wow, it really feels like part of my brain just shut down.
I know. Doesn't
That's-
it just sound like words or weird sounds that we make
Mutual-
with our mouths?
Well, I mean, when you break it all down, that's all they are, man.
Yep.
Wait, are we all having a stroke right now? Are we having a collective stroke?
you
Yeah.
guys did mushrooms before we got here, right?
Yeah.
Wait, like mutually why is that so hard to like wrap your head around right now?
don't
Are you
know.
guys having the same thing? Or
No,
am I-
that's what I'm saying.
what I
I'm
always
saying it, but I
picture-
don't even think I'm using it right.
What I always picture is a Venn diagram, and mutually exclusive are the things on the
on the
parts
outer
that
side.
don't overlap,
Yeah.
and
And then the
inclusive is the
anus
stuff in
is-
yeah,
yes.
it's a little vagina.
So
area,
so
but
it's two. So it's basically two things that are agreeing to disagree,
they
it's two
exist,
things that are not
but
related.
not because of each other.
Yeah.
but not because of each other. So you and I are mutually exclusive. And you and I, like all three of us, are mutually exclusive to one another.
Because we're not the same person.
No, because we
Where
exist.
is this conversation going?
Because we exist,
I feel
but
like
not
I'm
because
on
of one
acid
another.
right now. Yes.
I'm just saying.
So
like,
are me and my brother mutually
Do
inclusive?
people ever like write in to be like to correct you guys? Do you have fans that are like, listen?
I would love that. Please
Right.
write in because
Guys, write us in.
Yeah.
Right? I said write us in. See, now everything.
Now
doesn't
you're
make
mutually
sense.
inclusive because you
Listen,
said us.
the fans of 5 words,
yeah.
we need to know. And
Yeah.
could we simply Google search it? Yes, but we would like to hear from you.
Yeah.
No, because then
I like it.
Because then all Google's gonna do is send us to a page where you read it and you go like, all right, that makes sense. But did it really?
Did you
No,
take a
because
journey?
they're using other words.
However,
Yeah.
some horn-rimmed glasses wearing dude in the middle of the country right now who
Mm-hmm.
can just really, you know what? I want a straight up English professor on this
Yeah.
one. A horn-rimmed glass wearing English professor to come in and be like, here's how you use mutually. Here's the mutually exclusive
Yes.
definition of mutually exclusive.
Oh, and I've been getting, gosh, I feel like I'm taking us down a lot
No.
of like
I
paths.
really love etymologies.
Everyone and every space one
Mm-hmm.
has really been, and like I Googled it and it's like, it's kind of like the explanation is like, whatever. And I'm like, no, but there's gotta be.
Well, like
Yeah.
every one would be like if you're every space one is saying every individual, and everyone is one word is just saying every.
Yeah, everyone is a bunch of people.
A
Right.
group.
And then everyone is like you're referring to several specific things and it all applies to them. Every one of them
They're
has
all
a thing.
mutually inclusive.
How
Oh
do
my
you spell stand up?
Oh, this is a good question I've been thinking about lately.
For the longest time, just stand and then space up. But now I like to throw a dash in there.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I do the
That's-
hyphen.
Throw a hyphen. Yeah.
And if you saw like stand up one word, would that freak you out?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't like. Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that
I just
either.
prefer to add the hyphen.
But I was doing a lot of stand space up.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing the hyphen.
I like the hyphen.
And I don't know how we all, because everyone else I've talked to about this, they're like the same thing. So I'm like, maybe there was a trend
Yeah.
to make us feel more important to have a space instead of a hyphen.
Yeah.
And now we're like, we saw it written in the Vulture 4 times, and we're like, no, it's a dash.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. 4 dash in Vulture.
I think.
Okay.
I think the dashes are what is being printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
so too.
I mean, yeah. The hype. I mean, like,
I said a dash.
a dash. I said a dash too.
Just a dash,
Yeah.
a dollop of daisy.
I feel
Yep.
like in some worlds it is called a dash though.
It
Yeah,
is,
I
yeah.
think
Dash
so.
and hyphen are the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Like I want to I want to throw an umlaut on my name.
Yeah.
Shaun.
Shaun, you know, Megan.
Oh, and there's gals out there.
Megan.
Megan.
I would have Caitlin.
Get. I think we're just doing
Now we're
bad,
doing sounds.
like Cockney accents.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
Guys, now we're just doing sounds. Isn't that ironic? No, it's not ironic. It's not what irony is. This is actually the opposite of irony because we were setting out to do this and we did it.
Well, and people get so mad at Alanis Morissette because they're like, that song actually does not present.
Of course, but you know what?
things
That
of
song,
song
irony.
itself
but
is
the song
ironic,
itself is
though.
ironic because she set out to make a song that describes irony and got the
And failed.
exact opposite.
Yeah.
And do you think
That
that
is
was her mission?
I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
that
think so
would be
at
like
all. That's
really
way too meta.
That's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
meta, but I was like, I don't know if meta is the right word.
Meta is the right word. That's just
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, meta gets thrown around too.
Yeah.
You know, like if someone's like takes a like really interesting picture and people are like meta, and it's like, no, I don't think that is.
I also think, but meta's more abstract.
Yeah.
Doubling down. Meta's more abstract.
Is this our new podcast?
I know.
Yes. Let's just discuss
Confusing
words.
each other.
Oh, but words is in the title, so I
Yeah.
don't feel like you've
Yeah.
been misleading.
I know exactly.
And I love like looking up where weird phrases came from. Like my favorite new one is that the phrase "hands down," like I did something hands down, comes from jockeys because when they were so far ahead in the horse race, they could just put their hands down.
Oh, they
Oh,
wouldn't
really?
have to be.
Yeah, because they didn't have to like.
yanking on the horse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love jockeys. I watched what was it's the
You were all about the Kentucky Derby.
you know what, I really am not because I've never been
Yeah.
and it is does feel like competition to the Indy 500 same month Same sort of like concept round and
but it's nature versus machine, though.
And neighboring
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
But horsepower
I also
versus
love
horsepower.
Also, class and money versus your redneck fucking.
But there's some rednecks at that. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's hats
Well, I know,
versus
there's-
jean shorts.
It's
Yeah,
hats
yeah,
versus
yeah.
jean shorts.
And so I watched. It was a Netflix show. It's called 7 Days Out. where
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yes, and
That's
I
a good show.
loved
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
I loved when they were like in the jockeys' locker room,
Yes.
and they're all like helping
It's called the Locky
The
Room.
Locky Room.
Oh.
And they're all helping each other, and I love how there's like whole families of jockeys because
Yeah.
they're all so like.
yeah.
I've definitely been drunk and met like a very tiny man and been like, "You should be a jockey."
Is that the equivalent of tall people being like, you should play basketball?
Yes, but it's more hurtful.
Yes, it is.
yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, I feel I feel almost no pity for tall people, but for short people, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah,
I get it.
Unless
Yeah.
they make six
Unless
figures
they're
as a
fucking-
jockey.
Yeah.
You think 6 figures is it? I think they probably
I think
make
if
it
they're
cool.
at the high
Like a cool
end,
mill?
no, because when we saw that one guy's ranch, he had like a beautiful property.
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
he had like a 6-car garage.
Yeah.
I feel like a jockey's raking in 1.2.
Yeah, and they're eating so little,
It just-
little.
just a
No
thimble
money
of
on
food.
Or
food.
I don't know though, or are they?
Yeah, they got to be real light.
I feel like, but I also feel like maybe that whatever keeps them from growing is like maybe their body naturally burns a lot of calories.
Oh, wouldn't that be?
You know,
That
so
would be lovely.
I would
Well,
love
now
that
I
metabolism.
fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Now they're the mortal enemy of any woman planning a wedding.
Yes.
you motherfuckers.
No, I do like them. Like just the culture of that. When you learn about like the culture of umpires and referees, like when there's an event, but these are the B plot.
Right,
I love
right.
those.
Yeah, I agree.
People and like what's going on in that world.
You know, okay. Wait, speaking of phrases, have you ever heard "let the cat out of the bag"?
Yeah.
Do you know where that comes from?
Are you going to make
I
some
hope.
shit
No,
up
this
right
is-
now?
I
this
hope
is-
a cat being
no.
let out of a bag.
Seriously, and this is just what I was told during the Depression, when instead of bakers, when you go to get bread, it would be in bags, and there was a shortage of bread, but a abundance of cats being born on the street because there were just wild cats everywhere. So they would put kittens into the bags to weigh them down, and people would get home and be like, "What the hell? Cats in my bag! These kittens in the bag!" And
Jesus.
I don't believe you.
I'm 100%.
You're bullshitting.
I am not bullshitting. And
I believe him.
that was where that phrase apparently
But
came
then
from.
let the cat out. Oh, because it's a secret.
Yeah, 'cause that's a secret.
So there was bread in there, but just not a lot.
Not as much.
And
as
would
they
the
ordered.
cat eat the bread?
No,
Because it was.
because it's a cat.
Was it
I
like-
I don't think a full-grown cat would eat bread. It would just look at
No,
it. And
yeah,
just,
they're picky.
Yeah, yeah.
Still think you're lying to us.
I am not. I am
and
not
they
lying to
wouldn't
us.
know that there was a cat in the bag. It's wild. You would think there'd be like a meow
You'd think.
or like a.
Yeah.
You'd think, but it was during the Depression. People were too in their own heads to pay attention. That's my guess. I mean,
Those depression millennials,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just
Yep.
all about me,
Just
me,
like,
me,
"God,
me, me,
God
me."
I
damn
would
it."
love a bag of bread and a cat. That'd be great.
the one of
Little
those
cat.
You
You don't like cats?
I just don't think I would want to eat
The bread
cat?
with the
a bread.
That's
after
true. You can't, like,
a
wash a
cat
bread.
Had like and like they're peeing and pooing and not wiping.
eating
That's
cat
true.
bread.
So I don't know if I could see a cat like rubbing its ass on a baguette
Yeah,
and then gladly watching you inhale it.
And sort of in it like in its own way, like just doing that thing where cats do. Where I think this is the thing that cats do, and I think they're fucking with you, or they know they've done something that you haven't discovered yet. When they just do that one tail wag.
Yeah.
Yep.
When a cat's just sitting there,
Like
just
the twitch?
one tail. It's like it winking at you.
Yeah.
Like you dumbass.
Sometimes they do wink at you.
Sometimes they do wink. I
Yeah.
do like when an animal winks.
Do you wait?
Feels like we have a secret. Yeah.
Do you think it winks or it just blinks?
No, it's blinking.
It's blinking.
But
Yeah.
like it's
That's the thing.
But also, they're telling me a secret. Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's also the thing when people are like, look at that dog smiling at you. I'm like,
I
is it
know.
smiling or is it just dogging?
some
Yeah.
dogs do have more human like faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Especially when they have like an eyebrow.
Oh my God, dog eyebrows are
Oh.
the best.
But there are, I mean, golden retrievers are sort of like the class, like they do
Yeah.
have smiley, but I think that's an evolutionary thing where
Yeah.
it was like, listen, if you want to get picked, you better fucking smile.
Yeah.
We've been women, Caitlin
Yeah.
and I are on the streets of New York. We're
Yeah.
being told to smile.
Exactly. And now
So
we're telling animals to smile.
This fucking golden retriever can't get it together. How are we supposed to?
Exactly.
That was always a weird, like, I've only ever done that once.
What?
Told someone to smile.
Yeah, but I was like 20, and I was working at a restaurant in Baton Rouge, and it was to my. Well, I didn't.
So
it was.
disgusted.
Yeah, are you? Because it was.
No, I'm gonna hear him out. I don't know. No, I guess
it was when I was 21. I was working at a restaurant in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I was working in the kitchen, and a friend of mine worked there. Her name was Lee, and she was just like bummed and pissed off, and she was on the waitstaff, and I was like, Lee, smile.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Than a random stranger.
But she didn't.
Of course.
And I remember later that night, her being like, don't, because of course, you're 21 working in a restaurant, you get fucking drunk as soon as you get off work.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, don't tell women to smile. Wow. And I remember this was like 2000.
I know.
Yeah.
Lee was like
was
ahead of her time.
Yeah.
But
Oh
she
my
was like, just
goodness.
don't say that. Like, no one fucking likes that. Think about it.
Wow.
And she's like, think about if I told you to smile all day. What would you do? And I'd be like, I would. And of course, at the time, I was like, I would smile. But then upon thinking about it, I was like, no, I would get pissed off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lee
So that was
was
the
a trailblazer.
one and only time I've ever done
yes,
that. And
Lee.
wait, no, I still see her because her cousin is my brother-in-law.
Wait, what?
Her cousin?
Her cousin is my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, Thomas,
Is her cousin.
It's her
okay,
cousin.
Gotcha.
Oh, so you still
Lee,
see Lee.
I still see Lee.
You should thank her
Regular,
next
yeah.
time
Thank
for being
you,
a
Lee.
trailblazer.
Have you ever catcalled?
No, I've never been that guy. I've always been way too shy of like a never once and I'm not just saying that to try and like escape. So like no, I'm
You
just
started looking around.
Yeah,
It's like,
looking around
no,
like,
you're
no.
facing
Yeah.
Caitlin and Megan.
Yes.
no because
We're
I think
looking at
because I
you.
think there are a lot of fucking guys who like openly say shit like that because they've clearly done it constantly. But
Yeah.
like I've just always been too much of a wuss when it comes to picking up women or talking to girls to ever catcall.
yeah.
That's not how you pick up women. so.
95% of the time in New York, they caught me in a okay space. Like I was I was like I am open to this. Like you're not gonna pick me up,
But you whistled
like
back, like,
no, I just was like okay, like I'll take
Yeah.
this, I'll take it. But that's like one of those things. Like I guess the metaphor is like I love a restaurant,
Yeah.
but all my friends got food poisoning. So it's like it's a bad restaurant.
But you
I
you
had a
enjoyed
good
your meal. That's a
experience.
good.
That's good. I like that metaphor.
That's
Yeah.
when like you wish you could. There was a class you could teach women to fart on command. Just because like if a guy's like, "Yo, what's up, girl?" and you just rip one.
Unfortunately,
right
there'd be men like, now I'm even more into it.
Oh,
You think?
yes.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like when I'm like saying really
Yeah.
odd, disgusting, like I'll say I eat poop a lot. Like my fiance and I, we say that a lot. I eat poop. And he like, I mean, it doesn't like
Now,
horn him up.
Do you guys eat poop?
We
Is this-
actually do not anymore. We're yeah.
Yep, you went through your
We're
poop
on the
eating thing.
diet,
Yeah.
and we're not eating poop anymore.
It's high.
great.
It's poop's full of iron.
Yeah.
It's good for your blood, which is good for your circulation, which is good for your metabolism. Eat poop.
Yeah.
No.
But I do think sometimes I say like I ate poop, and he's like I did find the right one for me.
I guess just like if you're the kind of guy who possesses that level of like, yo girl, let me get up on you. You're thinking like you want the perfect girl. You're not thinking. You're thinking more about appearance and aesthetic.
Yeah,
And
than,
if
like,
a girl rips ass, you'd probably be like,
farts.
oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I have seen catcalling work though.
I'm sure it
in
has.
New York,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's.
In Brooklyn, you definitely see a woman go, all right, and
Yeah.
walk over.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
get the
there are.
number.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there are definitely in the whole like anti-catcalling movement. I'm sure there's a percentage of women who are like, bah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
kind of
I
like
have
that.
friends
That's-
that are like,
that's
yeah,
me.
I like
Yeah.
that it was a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I get it at the same time. But I was just never that guy. I just never possessed the desire to be like,
Yeah.
oh, look at that beautiful girl.
The confidence
Yeah, I just
to
said,
go.
well, it just also was like, I don't want that. That doesn't establish me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not who I'm a fucking wuss.
Yeah, you gotta
Right.
have the right
You know?
opener.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
small dick energy.
Yeah.
And thank God for that.
You should like fall off a ladder
Yeah.
onto her.
Yeah.
Or in front of her.
Yeah, like in front of her.
Yeah.
You fall at her feet.
Like give me the George McFly.
Yeah.
Like fall out of a tree because I was
Yes.
peeping.
That's like the dorky cat call.
Yes.
Like I lost my balance.
Physically injure yourself. Hey, I would actually love if that became the new trend of catcalling.
Yeah.
Like you wanna get a girl's attention, run
Well.
head first into a tree
Yeah.
right in front of her.
You need to get a concussion now.
Yep.
But don't get
Women
too many
love
concussions
take-
because if you do, you'll get married and then you'll kill her someday.
Yes.
Or yourself, which
Yeah.
or just
Hopefully, your best
Yeah,
case
yeah,
scenario,
yeah.
yourself.
don't get too many concussions trying to pick up women. I want that to be the soundbite for this episode.
All right. I'll put it up front. I'll do it.
Wait, where are we?
I think we're good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What time is it?
3:10
I mean, my story was...
in the morning.
How long of a story? It's 3:10 in the morning?
No.
Guys, those mushrooms were wild.
Wait, Megan, so I know you said you're getting married. And now you're inviting everyone who's listening. So where can they pick up their invites?
Palm Springs.
Are you really Palm Springs?
Oh, that's great. We were just there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so lovely there.
Palm Springs is interesting because like it is the downtown area is just full of people from around the fucking world.
Yeah.
And it really is interesting to like hang. My friend Rory and I one time went out one night. He does a damn good Cockney accent.
Okay.
I do a horrendous Scottish accent.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
pretty bad.
for
People
the
don't know, though,
for
Scottish.
No.
Scotch. I do a pretty good.
That's good enough.
I come from Glasgow.
You're
Yeah,
doing
kinda.
like Shrek.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
loud.
yeah. It's Shrek.
But then when someone pointed out, you're doing Shrek, I said, don't you fucking insult me like that. But people don't speak that way. So he stayed in his Cockney accent, and I stayed Scottish for the entire night. And we just
Wow.
bar hopped. And by the end of the night, it was hard to like stop doing it.
Yeah.
But we met so many people lying to their faces about who we were.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Sometimes those are the most fun nights. I did that once with my brother, but he did a Russian accent, and I did a British accent.
I actually
Really?
had an idea of doing a British accent at our wedding.
Do
to just see
it.
if anybody would call me on. Because it's like, it's my day. And if I think
Fucking
I'm
hilarious,
British,
dude.
then I'm British.
I
That
love
is
that.
Fucking hilarious. You should
Pull a
like, that should
Madonna
be a
at your
thing.
wedding.
Go
Yes.
beyond. Not just that. Like spill things on people.
Yeah.
It's
Like
just
my
do
thing.
boiling points at my own wedding.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love
Just
it.
have a super soaker and just hose people down and be like, "This is my day.
This is my
Are
day.
you gonna be an ass about this?
This is what I want to do. This
wanna-
is my one fucking day. And you said I can't wreck your car?
Yeah, this is bullshit. Why did you come? Why did you come to my wedding? But I do like little subtleties,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like calling people by the wrong name. Everyone. Thank you, Jasper. Like, wait, my name's Peter. Okay, Jasper.
Oh my God. The little ones that get under people's skin. That'd be great.
Franklin. But aside from your wedding,
Yeah. Where can people find you?
MeganGailey.com.
It is MeganGailey.com.
It should be.
And then I have an album coming out in September. I don't know the exact date, but
Yay,
look
that's
for
exciting.
it.
Actually, tell us the date, and we'll try and
She
make
doesn't-
this
Okay,
come out
great.
right before.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah.
So it'll be coming out.
Where'd you record it?
I recorded it at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington.
That's a great place to
Yeah,
record.
it was
That's a
really,
great place.
really fun.
Great place. Great club.
And I knew that was the first club that I ever like worked professionally.
Oh, awesome.
3 weeks after starting stand up, I hosted.
Good first club.
I
Yeah.
hosted there for John Roy because I won the open mic like competition.
Oh, cool.
And
nice.
I'd done stand up like 4 times.
Right.
And I bombed so hard the whole weekend. I gave his credit as being on Jay Letterman.
Wow.
And it was truly a disaster. And Jared, the owner, who's lovely and nice enough to let me do my album there at the time when I was
Right.
bombing for the first, he's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe you shouldn't have booked someone who's been doing stand-up 3 weeks to host. But it's like, it's always fun to see people that you've bombed in front of.
Oh, yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Jared. Now go back into the green room and watch TV.
I think John Roy was there
That's
this past
just a
weekend
fun
too.
dig
I
at
just
you,
saw
Jared.
Oh yeah.
Funny.
No, that club's great. That's a great. Yeah, that's a great place to record. Too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, really fun, and I did it the week before I got engaged, and on the album I say my boyfriend, who better be my fucking fiance when this comes out, and
he is.
it worked out. Yeah,
That's great.
Well, congrats. What's your album called? Do you have a title yet?
my dad paid for this.
Yay!
Whoa!
I
Full
love
circle
it.
right here in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
There
You don't want to. You don't want a proposal on something your dad paid
Yeah,
for,
the album.
unless
No,
it's
but
the album.
okay.
Unless it would happen on the album.
Oh, I would kill him.
Get Megan's album.
Yeah.
See her. Go to MeganGailey.com and you're all over the socials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Instagram's better Megan Gailey. There
Right.
was a Megan Gailey, and I had to teach her a lesson.
Oh, snap.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's now since given it up, but I just sit on Megan
but
Gailey.
still, you own this now.
Nah,
yeah.
yeah.
See Megan. She's awesome. And
Yeah.
that has been 5 Words.
Yeah.
This episode.
Shout out to Lee. Bye.
If two things are mutually exclusive, then they can't happen at the same time. Like if you draw a card from a deck, it can be a